Last night, the Tigers and the Chicago White Sox opened up a 3-game set at Tiger Stadium, and Kevin Saucier and the Tigers came out in top 3-2. But it was wimpy night in Detroit. Tom Paciorek started the scoring in the second with a solo shot, his fifth, to give the White Sox a 1-0 lead. Larry Herndon responded in the bottom of the inning to make a 1-1 Detroit on his sixth bomb of the year. Mike Ivey with a sac fly made it 2-1 Detroit. The White Sox, again behind Tom Paciorek, tied it in the sixth, but Larry Herndon's double to score Rupert Jones gave the Tigers the opening game of the 3-game set with a 3-2 win. Who's going to win today? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball 1982 lunchtime replay. From Saturday, May 8th, 1982, it's the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. As I lose my mouse. I'm Ron Juckett. We're going to pretend it's Saturday again. Dennis Lamp going for the White Sox and Dan Petrie going for the Tigers. It's 71 degrees. A beautiful day here in Detroit. Skies are clear, winds going right to left at 17. And so welcome once again to another one of our games. This is our 15th game of the year. The Tigers come into this one solidly in first place in the American League East, although Baltimore and Milwaukee are starting to make some noise. The Tigers are 19-7, while the White Sox are taking advantage of at least a weak start in the American League West. They are 14-10. This is their 25th game of the year. But all systems are go for the White Sox to show the American League this year what they would in '83, their real, at least divisional winning season. So that's the setup. As I said, it's windy, it's blowing from right to left. It's a gorgeous day on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. And somewhere you can hear Ernie Harwell, but it won't be here today. Oops. Uh-oh. And I guess the Philadelphia Phillies have signed JT, or had traded for JT Realmuto. Just got that across. So, because it's Saturday, why did that go away? No. Because it's Saturday, and I don't know why the Red Sox and there's the winning percentages. Here's a look at the standings as we start this 8th day of May, 1982. The Expos have 5-5 in their last 10, but they hold still a 1.5 lead over St. Louis. Chicago's coming back down to earth. They've lost 6 straight, and they're now 14-13. In the National League West, San Diego's kind of stumbled out of it. The Dodgers have won 7 out of their last 10. They're now 18-9 and hold a 3-game lead over Atlanta. In the American League, it's these Tigers, a 3-game stretch over Baltimore, who's won 8 out of their last 10. Toronto coming back down to earth a little bit, with the Red Sox winning 7 of 10. Remember, although it was 17 games between first and last place, last place in the American League East in 1982 still went 78-84. In the West, California by 2 over these White Sox, and Kansas City coming into their own. So we go to the chat. So Stratomatic Delaware is picking up 82 tomorrow in New York for Stratomatic opening day. How we all doing? 82 is indeed a great season. And you guys can play your own music in the background. So Dan Petrie's on the mound for the Tigers. 2.76, the ERA 1-2 in 6 starts. His last start was last Saturday, in fact, in Chicago against these White Sox. You'd laugh if I said the Cubs. In 6 2/3 innings, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, allowed 6 hits. 3 runs all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 7. So in 45 2/3 innings, he's allowed 45 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned, including 3 home runs. He's walked 9 and struck out 27. And this will be the lineup they'll face. Ron LaFleur will lead off and play center. Tony Bernazard will bat second and play second. Steve Kemp, the left fielder, hits third. Greg Luzinski, the DH, will bat fourth. Tom Paciorek, who had the 2 home runs last night, will bat fifth. Harold, the Hall of Famer Baines, is in right. He'll bat sixth. Riders of the Storm, Jim Morrison, the third baseman, will bat seventh. Mark Hill is the catcher, not Carlton, because they game after a night game. And Billy Allman is your shortstop. He'll bat ninth. The defense around Petrie. Larry Herndon is 8-5 in left. E. Miller, a 1-4 in center. Oh my goodness. And Jerry Turner is a 2-3 in right. Good thing I'm not getting yelled at here. Around the infield, Enos Cabell is a 2 at third, Alan Trammell a 9 at short, Lou Whitaker a 7 at second, Richie Hepner's at first, he's a 3, and Lance Parrish behind the plate, a 5 and 8, and Mike Ivey is going to be your DH when it's time for Detroit. And so Ron LaFleur steps to the plate at 247, 2 home runs and 8 RBI. And remember, the big news that just broke in the real world. No, I should still be going here. The big news that just broke is that the Phillies have traded for the former Marlins catcher JT Realmuto. Don't know what they gave up, but big news as we go on. So back to 82 we go. LaFleur is ready, so is Petrie. And away we go. LaFleur swings and misses on a 1-2 fastball, and that's how this one starts. It's a strikeout. And so there's 1 out for Bernazard. 245, no home runs, and 5 RBI. Petrie delivers, and Bernazard ground ball to Cabell. It's a bad play. He got a late jump on it, and he beats the throw to Hefner. So the White Sox get a run around in the top of the first. Steve Kemp, 326, 2 homers, and 8 RBI. There's the missing LaFleur. Yep, you betcha. So Kemp is ready, and so's Petrie. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball up the middle. Trammell over to Hefner, and Kemp, I think, beat it out. He did. So 2 infield singles, 1 on that defense, and 1 just got caught on that slow grass here at Tiger Stadium. And so there's 1 out and 2 on for the Bull, Greg Luzinski. At 370, 4 homers and 20 RBI. I gotta wait for my message to get off so I can actually. There we go. So a good start for Luzinski. Petrie delivers, and he strikes out. Full count, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So he goes back to the bench, and that's 1 dodge for Dan. And here's Paciorek. As I said in the open, hit 2 home runs last night, and the White Sox lost. So now Paciorek at 357, 6 homers and 22 RBIs. Ricky and Drew actually watch this game, they'll be stunned. So Paciorek digs in. Come on. And Petrie's ready. Here's the pitch. And there's a little liner up the middle past Whitaker. And Bernazard will score. Kemp will go to third. And so it's runners in the corners with 2 out and a 1-0 Chicago lead. So Paciorek comes through again for the White Sox. And runners on the corners for Harold Baines. Baines at 175, 2 homers and 8 RBI. A slow start as we finish the 5th week of the season. So Baines is ready, and so is Petrie. And there's a fly ball to right. Turner's there, and he makes the catch to retire the side. This feels like I'm doing a game on an AM station that's rattling in and out. 1 run on 3 hits for the White Sox. No errors. The Tigers coming up. Dennis Lamp takes the hill. Chicago gets the early going. And for those of you headed up to Glenhead for a Strats opening day tomorrow, 55 and some rain. Hopeful, but it will be where it will be. And Todd's right, that is beautiful weather for Long Island and for this time of year in February. Only 2 games for you next week. And so when we come back, we'll have a Friday game and a Saturday game for you. It'll be Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday night. I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday, so more important for me to be healthy than to do a game. But it's going to be a Friday-Saturday special. The Cardinals and the Braves will be the lunchtime game on Tuesday, and the Red Sox and the Royals, I believe, are going to be the Saturday game, which is going to be the Wednesday night game. Anyway, Dennis Lamp takes the hill. Not a good start for him. This is his 4th start in his 6th game. His last start came against these Tigers. 5 innings. He got hammered around. 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. He did not walk anybody and struck out 4. So he has an 0-2 record with a 10.06 ERA. 17 innings, 27 hits, 20 earned runs. 20 runs, 19 earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 7. You can see from his other appearances that ERA is horrible. 37.80, 37.13. And so the lineup he will face. How are you all doing? So it'll be Eddie Miller leading off. He's 0 for 9 on the year. Enos Cabell will bat second. Jerry Turner will hit third and right. Mike Ivey is your DH. So no Kirk Gibson today. Richie Hebner's at first. Larry will bat fifth. Larry Herndon will hit sixth. Lance Parrish is behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. Lou Whittaker will bat 8th, and Alan Trammell will hit 9th. Defensively around Lamp, Kemp is a 6-2 in left. LaFleur a 4-8 in center. Baines is 7-8 in right. Jim Morrison is a 3 at third. Billy Allman a 7 at short. Tony Bernazard a 6 at second. Tom Pachoy for 5 at first. And Mark Hill is no Carlton fifth. He's a 2 in the 7th. So Miller has scored, he's walked twice. He's 0 for 9 on the year. 1-0 White Sox, bottom of the first. It's from Lamp, and there's a fly ball left field, and wind is blowing from right to left. At 71 degrees. Here's the pitch to Miller. Line drive to right. Baines is there. And there's 1 out. And so Clinton Parks is going to pick up Status Pro online. He was showing us that last night in 10 seasons. So how you doing, Andrew and Robbie and Heidi Jester? Baseball demos. I feel like sometimes I'm playing Miss Ron from Romper Room, and I see Clinton and Al and Dave and also good. The Bell at 292, a homer and 11 RBI. Here's the pitch. Lamp got him. A 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, and there's 2 outs for Jerry Turner. Jerry at 9 for 44 on the year. That's 205 with no homers and 2 RBI. Lamp's 2-out pitch, and there's a ground ball to Allman over to Pachoy. And that retires the side. So the Tigers go down in order in the first. We played 1. Chicago 1, Detroit nothing. It'll be Jim Morrison, Mark Hill, and Allman due up for the White Sox here in the second. Morrison 274, 5 homers and 14 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball up the middle. It gets past Whittaker and Trammell, and so Morrison leads off with a single. 4th hit already off of Petrie. Mark Hill was 2 for 8 on the year. Sox are in their dark blue hats with the red bill, just as you see from Mr. Hill. Wearing the finest softball attire money could buy in 1982. At Petrie's pitch, a fly ball to center. Miller drifts over to the right and makes the catch. Morrison will hold, and there's one out for Allman at 266 with 6 RBI. Here's the pitch. Allman popped up right side. Whittaker calls for it, and he's got it. 2 out for Ron LaFleur. So Petrie an inning and 2/3 for his first 9 batters. 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and the run was earned. So he's actually pitched well around those 4 hits. The 4 struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch, and he goes down again. He looked at an 0-2 pitch, and that's not what he wanted, and Petrie says, I don't care. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the White Sox 1, the Tigers nothing. Oh yeah, the Tigers up until about 87 had, from 76 to 87, just had some but ugly uniforms. Here's Mike Ivey. Mike is 0 for 2 on the year. And gets the DH today. Lamp's ready, and the pitch is a little liner to left. Kemp is there, 1 out. Richie Hebner at 275, a homer at 9 RBI. Lamp's pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed a 2-2 pitch, and this Dennis Lamp is in pretty good shape. 5 up, 5 down for Larry Herndon. Larry at 294, 6 homers and 24 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball in the left center. Kemp is there, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's the White Sox 1, the Tigers nothing. So Bernazard, Kemp, and Luzinski here for the White Sox in the 3rd. Tony singled and scored in the 1st. Petrie's ready, and Bernazard up the middle. Whittaker from behind the bag over the Hebner. And there's an out. 1 out. Here's Steve Kemp. Kemp singled his first time up. So Petrie going through the lineup a little better the second time through. Here's the pitch, and there's a little looper in the center, and Eddie Miller dives and makes a nice catch. So Miller, who's only a 1 out of 10 in center, makes the catch, and there's 2 out. For Greg Luzinski, who struck out to end the 1st. No, it couldn't have been, because Pachorik's got the RBI. Here's the pitch. It was a strikeout. This time he hits one into right field for a single that will drop in front of Turner. And so 2 out for Pachorik. And Tom's RBI single is the lone scored Tony Bernazard, and that's the only run so far. Petrie's ready, and strike 3. He guessed wrong on a 3-2 pitch over the middle, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 2.5, it's still the White Sox 1, the Tigers nothing. How you doing, Dave? Lamp is shining brightly today. Good job. Good job. A shining beacon of bad English, yes. It'll be Lance Parrish, Lou Whittaker, and Alan Trammell here in the 3rd. I'm doing fine, Robbie, and you? Parrish at 350, 2 homers and 11 RBI. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball that gets past Morrison's glove. Parrish is going to reach. Morrison picks it up after a bad hop. It took one of those old infield hops, hit off the side of his glove, and by the time he discovered where it was, Parrish was standing on first. So that's the first error of the game, and here's Lou Whittaker. Lou's off to a fantastic start, 347, 4 homers, and 18 RBI. Glad to hear, Robbie. Pitch to Lou, and it's up the middle. Bernazard to Allman for 1, over to Pachorik, and no, he does not get him. Whittaker beat it out. Whittaker's got some speed. And so there's one out for Trammell with Whittaker on first. Trammell is not playing well or batting well. 182 with 6 RBI. 1-0 White Sox. Tigers trail here in the bottom of the third. Lamp delivers, and with a fly ball to left, has it for the out. So 2 out for Eddie Miller. So Dennis Lamp is a shining beacon of good pitching. 2 2/3 innings, no hits. He has struck out 2, and of course the error here in the bottom of the third. 41 pitches his first time through. Here's the go to Miller, and that's ball 4. So Miller looked at 1 on 3 and 2. That's pretty daring, and so it's now runners on first and second for Enos Cabell, who struck out his first time up. Pitch from Lamp, and Cabell grounds one in the hole left side. Whittaker will score. Miller will hold at third. There goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout. We are tied at 1. So Jerry Turner at the plate. Jerry's 0 for 1. Runners on the corners, 2 out. Miller the go-ahead run for the Tigers. Lamp's pitch, ball 4. Well, as much as shining beacons do, sometimes they just blow themselves out. And the Tigers have them loaded for Mike Ivy, who was 0 for 1. Somebody dimmed the lamp. I approve. I approve of that. So let's see how much dimmer it gets now. Lamp's pitch. Ivy, little looper into left center. Miller scores. Cabell scores. Turner will hold at third. Kemp got a late start on that and couldn't get it. So Ivy gets credit for a double. The throw was not even close to being in time, and the Tigers go up 3-1. Lamp is having his wick 10. They turn the switch off, it looks like. Yes. I didn't realize that we were doing a Star Search stand-up comedian day here. Ed says y'all get 2 stars. Richie Hebner at the plate. He struck out his first time up. Lamp now up to 63 pitches. This has been a struggle. Watts will do that. Turner on third. Ivy on second. And the pitch from Lamp gets away from Hill. And Turner will be tagged out. He was going to go home, and then Hill flips it over to Lamp covering, and they got him. No replay on that. It just hit a hard part of that wall and bounced right back to Mark Hill. Makes the easy play to Lamp, and Turner is out. Scored a wild pitch, and then 2-1 on the fielder's choice. Not before the Tigers get 3 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. After 3, Detroit 3, Chicago 1. Here is sitting. Tiger goes Spark. Yeah. Tiger's finally in the shade. Yeah, Sparky and LaRussa is a good matchup. I would take Sparky 17 days out of 7. Here's Harold Baines. He's 0 for 1. Petrie now been given a lead of 3-1 as we start the 4th. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball to Hefner that gets past Hefner. Baines will reach, was going for 2, and he's got it. And so that's just kind of a Bill Buckner grounder, and Hefner let it play him. And Baines, being attentive, just kept on going. Hefner couldn't find it. Baines takes the extra base. So both teams have the boo-boo. And here's Jim Morrison. He's 1 for 1. He's got a single, and now a runner in scoring position. So Petrie is not a happy camper. He's kicking around the mound. Wind's blowing now in from right at 14 and 73 degrees. The pitch to Morrison. Fly ball deep to left center. Back goes Herndon, and that's gone. So Jim Morrison rode that one into a storm, and we're tied at 3. Here's the pitch, and that was just smashed. Almost off the facing in the second deck here at Tiger Stadium, and we're tied at 3. So Mark Hill at the plate. Petrie now really beside himself. We'll see how, I believe 2 of those runs of the 3 are earned. Pitch to Hill. Fly ball to left. Herndon goes back. Makes the catch for the out. So here's Billy Allman. He's 0 for 1. Petrie delivers, and there's a ground ball to Trammell. Over the Hebner. 2 out. Oh my God. You guys are funny. Lamb spelled backwards is Pummel, which sounds like an old, yeah, it does sound like an old cigarette brand. And Clinton, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yep. You guys are on cue, on point today. Here's Ron LaFleur. He has struck out twice. Through 18 batters, Dan Petrie's temper is about as short as the wick in some of those lamp puns. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, a home run allowed. He has struck out 4. Through 18 batters and 71 pitches. 2 of those strikeouts were to Ron LaFleur. 3-3 here in the 4th, 2 out. Top of the frame. Petrie delivers, and LaFleur pops this one up. Trammell moves over to his right and makes the left to make the catch. 2 runs, a hit, and 1 error. 3.5 in the books on this Saturday afternoon. It's Chicago 3, Detroit 3. Hebner, Herndon, and Parrish. How many runs can you get in a Petrie dish? Like you all hit the bottle before the game. It's only 12:30 in the afternoon. I don't know, ID. How many? I'll bite. So Hebner struck out his first time up, so far 1. Pitch to Hebner. Ball 4. So Lamp is not onto his feet. See how many of you get that one. And here's Herndon. He's 0 for 1. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Chi Sox. They've stranded 4 so far. The Tigers, 3 runs on 2 hits and an error, and they've not left anybody on. Pitch from Lamp. Got him. Herndon chased an 0-2 pitch outside. 1 out, and that's 3 for Lamp to go with 3 walks. Here's Parrish. He's 0 for 1. How many runs can you get in a Petrie dish? I don't know how many. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Pitch to Parrish. Here's a ground ball to Allman, to Bernazard for 1, to Pachorik. And kind of like these puns, they got them. So call it 2. No runs, no hits, and no error. Lamp gets the pitcher's best friend after 4. Chicago 3, Detroit 3. Oh, Clinton. Oh, Clinton. Just don't let Petrie trip over the ottoman. Yeah, I got it. And Rob got it from Laura an awful lot. Bernazard is 1 for 2. He singled and scored. Well, the first White Sox won the first. So 2 earned runs for Petrie out of the 3. And this first pitch of the 5th is lined into right. Turner's going to try to get this. Be a pretty amazing play. He got a late jump. He dives and he makes a fantastic catch. Oh, baby. A 31% chance there. Turner just put the glove down, and look what I got. 1 out. And he gets a good ovation from the partisan throng here at Tiger Stadium. Steve Kemp is 1 for 2. Single. Before his hit, fly ball to right. Turner has an easier play. 2 out. So Greg Luzinski is 1 for 2. He has struck out and singled. He did that the last time up. 3-3, White Sox and Tigers top the 5th. 2 out. Petrie's pitch, and Luzinski wraps that one in the center past Whittaker. And that's the 7th White Sox hit. Brings up Tom Pachorik. I remember those weight-facing hats. They were bad. Short 1 for 2 with an RBI, and he is struck out. Petrie's pitch, Short fly ball to center field. Miller goes back to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Halfway home is scheduled after 4.5. It's the White Sox 3. Thanks, Clinton. I do appreciate that. White Sox 3, the Tigers 3. This lamp must be exotic. It says fragile. I thought it said Fraggle. I thought this was going down to Fraggle Rock. All right. Camera time for a moment, and just to remind you that, you can leave questions in the chat or in the comments there for Bump Up the Lights. I'm going to answer some questions for you Friday night. Please no religion or politics, but beyond that, pretty much everything else is fair game. I've got a couple already, and we'll do that Friday night at 7 on Retro Sports Network, right before Dave Little takes to the court for, I believe he's doing San Diego and Cleveland for a 70-71 basketball replay. That's at 9 o'clock tomorrow on Dave Little's channel, as friends of the channel right here on Retro Sports Network. So it'll be Lou Whittaker, Alan Trammell, and Miller for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 5th. Lou is 0 for 1 with a run scored, and Lamp is now at 77 pitches through his 4 frames. And he starts the 5th with a ground ball to Bernazar, diving stop from his knees over to Pachorik, 1 out. So a good play from Tony there to start the inning. So here's Alan Trammell. Alan is overdue. He's 180 on a year. And he delivers. And there's a little liner in the right center. That's extra bases. Dave throws it back in. But Trammell's on with a double. So the Tigers have the go-ahead run in scoring position for Eddie Miller. He's 0 for 1. He has also walked and scored. Lamp threw 18 batters, has thrown 84 pitches, 4 1/3 inning. That's plural run. 3 hits, 3 runs, none earned. He's not allowed an earned run. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. I'm not yelling at Clinton. Would someone let Mr. Antagonizer know I'm not yelling at him? I was actually being complimentary. Go ahead, tell him yell at him. You'll find out later. All right, so here's Miller. Lamp's pitch is a ball 4, so Lamp is in trouble again here in the 5th. And unlike General Electric, sometimes the bulb doesn't always shine brightest. Enos Cabell is singled, scored 1 of the Tiger runs, struck out, and driven in another. That's a pretty productive day. Dennis pitch, ground ball to Allman, to Bernazard for 1, over to Pachorik, and plug Dennis back in. Miller took Bernazard out, but call it 2, and so Lamp survives again. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We played 5. Chicago 3, Detroit 3. How you doing, Bobby Catalano? Good to see you. Bobby's listening at work. Harold Baines about it. It'll be Baines, Morrison, and Hill. Get your doors puns ready. Baines is 0 for 2. He has scored. Scored on that home run by Jim Morrison in the 5th or the 4th. So Petrie is not getting me the fatigue sign yet. 91 pitches through 5. He'll go 125 and gets Baines to swing and miss at a 2-2. So that's 5 for Petrie. And that brings up Jim Morrison. Morrison, as I said, had the home run in the 4th and singled his first time up. So he's 2 for 2. And maybe not the LA woman, but it might be Detroit woman if Morrison gets on again. Petrie's pitch, and Morrison draws ball 4. So the payoff full count pitch was low and inside barely, and Petrie stands there, hands on his hips as he looks towards the home plate umpire. Dan's doing his best John Lackey impression out there, and the home plate umpire is just doing a good job ignoring it. Mark Hill is 0 for 2. Runner on first, 1 out, top the 6th. 3-3, White Sox and Tigers from Tiger Stadium. Petrie delivers, and it gets away from Parrish, and they're going to try to get Morrison at second. Parrish has a good arm. The throw down to Whittaker is not in time. So it's a pass ball from Parrish, but he nearly threw out Morrison trying to get second. So Hill has worked a full count. And Petrie's ready. 3-2 to Hill. Here we go. Ball 4. Fastball was high and away, and Petrie is stalking the mound, trying to get himself down together. Allman, 0 for 2. Billy has popped out to second and grounded out to short. 3-3, 1 out. Top of the 6th. Morrison on second. Hill on first for the White Sox. Parrish goes out to calm down his pitcher. Petrie delivers, and Allman hits a base hit into right field. Morrison will round third and score. Hill will hold at third, and Allman's on with a single, and the White Sox go up 4-3. And I think Sparky has seen enough. Saucier pitched last night, only threw 21 pitches, but with righties extraordinaire, Dave Rozema. Will come in. He is 1-0 on the year with a save and an 0.93 ERA, and he's only with the Tigers another week. This will be Rozema's 7th game and 5th time out of the pen. He pitched on the 4th, which by my calculations was Monday. I could be wrong. An inning against Texas where he didn't allow anything. On the 30th of April, which I believe was last Friday night, he pitched the inning in the 3rd against the White Sox, gave up 2 hits, and that was about it. So Rozema's good for 70 pitches. 4-3 Chicago, top of the 6th, 1 out. LaFleur is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Rozema's pitch, and LaFleur strikes out. He stood there like a barn on the side of the road. So he gets the golden sombrero, and there's 2 out for Bernazard. Tony 1 for 3. Scored a run in the 1st and singled. So runners on 1st and 3rd for the White Sox. And the pitch to Bernazard, grounder up the middle. Whittaker by the bag at 2nd, over to Hebner, and that retires the side. But the White Sox pull ahead, a run on a hit, no errors. After 5.5, it's 4-3 Chicago. That's nuts that Allman reached. Oh, Todd, you get a gold star for that one. A Rozema by any other name is just not the same. You guys are pretty punny out there. The dad jokes that are rolling through here are enough to make any teenage girl blush for all the right reasons. Here's Jerry Turner. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Limp hanging in there as we start the 6th. Pitch to Turner is a ground ball, base hit. James will field it on several hops, and Turner starts the bottom of the 6th with a single. Here's Mike Ivey. His 2-run double was part of a 3-run uprising by the Tigers in the 3rd. And made it 3-1 at the time, but now the White Sox lead at 4-3. Pitch from Lamp, and Ivy lines that one to center, and LaFleur goes back to make a nice catch. 1 out for Hebner. He's 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. No, I think you're right, Dave, that puns have to be bad. I think it's required. If they can be clever, but they have to be. If it doesn't make you groan, then you're not doing it right. Ron supplies the play-by-play, and we provide the off-color. Yep, yes, you guys do, and you're good at it. And I appreciate it. I told you what Hebner was up to. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right. Baines goes back, and that one is caught. Wasn't sure. The winds are blowing now in from right at 20 miles an hour. 76 degrees on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, and here's Herndon. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 4-3 White Sox, bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch, and there's a little liner to Baines and right, and that will retire the side. No runs to hit, no errors. After 6, it's Chicago 4, Detroit 3. Ron's hour of puns. Right up there with penny counting and or whatever else I could put you in. That's true, Todd B. You're absolutely right. Hebner was a grave digger in the offseason. So Steve Kemp now 1 for 3 as we start the 7th. Rosema got out of that jam in the 6th, left by Petrie. And let me give you Petrie's numbers. Dan only went 5 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs. The bookies closed. 3 of those runs were earned. A homer. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Threw 112 pitches, grown to 87 bad puns, 77 strikes, and 35 balls. Faced 28 batters. So Steve Kemp is 1 for 3 with a single. And Rosema deals. And there's a little liner in there. Here comes Turner coming in, and he makes the catch. And that'll bring up Greg Luzinski. The Bull is 2 for 3 with a strikeout. 2 singles and a strikeout. 4-3 White Sox top the 7th, 1 out. Pitch from Dave struck him out. 1-2 pitch in at the knees, and that's the second for Rosema. Smelling good this close to Valentine's Day. Remember, guys, you got a week left. Tom Paciorek is 1 for 3. He has a single and an RBI and a strikeout. Nobody on, 2 out, top the 7th. Here's the pitch. Little bounder up the middle. Whitaker over to Hetman. Makes the play. And so it's stretch time. Go get your Stros, boys, because I think you've honestly been hitting those anyway. 6.5 in the books. Chicago 4, Detroit 3. You dug that job. Dave Gardner used to dig grave. No, that's Bulger, Al. That's Bulger. Tools were dirt cheap. Oh my God. There's enough rim shots in this. Oh my goodness. It'll be Lance Parrish. He is 0 for 2. He's got it into a double play. I wish Ricky and Drew would start talking about where Bryce Harper's going to go. Let's see. As I said, Parrish is 0 for 2. He's grinding into double play. He's 0. Lamp at 101 pitches. And the pitch to Parrish is a fly ball to left. Kemp goes back and it's off the wall. So Parrish leads off with a double. That got down there in the corner, and Kemp wondered if that was going to leave the yard. It hit the fence, and so the Tigers have the tying run in scoring position for Lou Whitaker. He's only a 4-buncher. I did think about it for a minute. Trammell on deck. And Lamp at 103 pitches. Hill goes out to chat with Lamp. And the pitch to Whitaker, ball 4. And so now what do you do with Trammell? The runners are playing back. And Trammell, although he doubled last time, is in a horrific slump. He's going to square. He does. The bunt is down. Lamp only plays to first to Bernazard, and they got it. And so that will do it for Dennis Lamp. Kevin Hickey's, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with for this. Will come in to pitch for the White Sox. He's had a very good year. He's no record, but a 1.66 ERA. 21 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 22 hits. He has walked 8 and struck out 2. His last outing was Wednesday against the Blue Jays. 2 innings, 3 hits, and nothing else across. Kind of unusual, as this is his 11th appearance, to have no record. He's a lefty. And Eddie Miller's going to come out for Chet 11. At 341, 4 homers, 15 RBI, and if they should walk Lemon, Enos Cabell, well, is on deck. So Hickey delivers, and Lemon slices this one into right field. Parrish will score. Whittaker will hold, and Lemon wedges a tie. Bernazard should have had that ball. He was late, and it's 4-4. So here's Cabell. He's 1 for 3. He has an RBI single, a run scored, a strikeout, and a grounded in a double play. Here's the pitch. Cabell draws a walk. And so Hickey won't get one of his namesakes if he keeps this up. Their bases are loaded. 1 out for Jerry Turner, who will not bat. It'll be Kirk Gibson. Although he doesn't hit lefties well, Tigers got a chance to blow this one open. Whittaker on third, Lemon on second, Cabell on first, Ivy on deck, Gibby at the plate. Hickey delivers, and there's a high fly ball to center. That'll get home Whittaker. LaFleur has it. Whittaker will tag, and the throw goes in the infield. So a sac fly for Gibby makes it 5-4 Tigers here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And so Hickey's going to get his mark now. Ivy 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. Lemon on second, Cabell on first. Hickey and Hill will have a conversation. Here's the pitch. Ivy opposite the left. Kemp in the corner, and that retires the side. We've played 7, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Tigers have popped back out in front, 5-4. So Gibson will be in center. He's a 6-6. Lemon stays in the game in right. He is a 5-5. And Roseman, with 6 outs to go, will stay a little bit longer. If he gets into have a runner in scoring position, we'll look to see what the Tigers have for a fireman. But right now, it's Harold Baines. He's 0 for 3. He has struck out and scored. Andrew McDonald says Hickey was signed on an open tryout by the White Sox. Former basketball player playing softball. Ooh, and I didn't get IDs, Joe. Yeah, you're all loaded. All right, Clinton. Hope you're doing all right. Dave Gardner was hoping for a pyramid. Tombstones weren't very good, if I remember correctly. Baines is 0 for 3. Hit from Roseman. There's a fly ball to right center. Back goes Gibson, and he makes the catch for the first out. So here's your last chance of the night. Oh, geez, oh my goodness. Well, you know, you're having a good time with it. Here's your last chance for a Jim Morrison joke on the day. 2 for 2 with a homer, 2 RBI. Pitch from Roseman. Morrison, fly ball to right. Lemon's there. It's a nice catch. Let's see what they do with Mark Hill. He's 0 for 2 with the walk. Roseman, no hits allowed. Pretty clean, unlike some people in the chat. Threw his 2 1/3 innings and 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Got him! Swung on and missed an 0-2. No runs, no hits, no errors. You go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Tigers 5. The White Sox 4. And Dave from Baseball Demos wins the punt, or the pun of the day. Okay. Which one of these do you? I'll read them both out loud. The last tombstone that he had made him gravely ill. You get a lot of points for that. And remember, Morrison did sing, "People are strange." Talking to my fans. Here's Hebner. He's 0 for 2. Herndon and Parrish to follow. Kevin Hickey in line for the loss here. 2/3 of the inning so far. 5-4, Tigers bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Hebner drives ball 4. And the 3-1 was away. Here's Herndon. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. For the White Sox in the 9th, Allman, LaFleur, and Bernazard. And I imagine all 3 of them went bad. Pitched it from Hickey to Herndon as a base hit right side through the hole. Hebner's going to 3rd. And the White Sox are now going to play in for Parrish. He has a double. He is 1 for 3. He also has grounded into a double play and scored. And so Hickey has not been real effective this afternoon. Now the winds are howling in from right at 26, 77 degrees. Here's the pitch to Parrish. That's up the middle. Bernazard couldn't get there. Hebner will score. Herndon will hold at second. That was one of those grounders that was going to go into no man's land with the infield in, and it should have been at least a play to stop it. 6-4. We got ourselves a pitching change as Chico Escaraga comes in for Hickey. This game is coming to you from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. So Escaraga is 1-0 on the year with a 2.53 ERA. In 10 2/3 innings, he's allowed 8 hits. He actually has a start. He started against the Red Sox. His last appearance was Sunday, or Monday, whatever. Was against the Blue Jays. He went 2 2/3 innings, allowed 2 hits a run. It was earned, and he struck out 1. That was May the 4th. And I'm glad I didn't do a game that day. May the 4th be with you. So it's Herndon on second, Parrish on third. 6-4 Tigers. Nobody after Whitaker, who was 0 for 2 with the 1. Here's the pitch to Lou. That's up the middle. Bernazard to Allman for 1. Over no throw to Pachorik. Parrish took him out, and Allman couldn't get a good throw on it. So it goes down as a 4-6 fielder's choice. And that brings up Alan Trammell, who had the big double and is 1 for 2. Also had a sac bunt. So Herndon on third, Whitaker on first, Escaraga on the mound. And it's 6-4 Tigers. If Detroit wins, I believe that gives them the best. They'll be the first team to 20 wins, right? That is right. So if they win this, they are the first 20-win team in baseball, and they've already won 8 of their last 10. Here's the pitch to Trammell. Ground ball up the middle. Escarga. Herndon will stay. The only play is to first. Trammell's retired, so Herndon probably would have drawn a throw home. But runners on first, second, and third for Chet Lemon. Chet 1 for 1. He singled, has an RBI, and received about 19,000 puns. This was a breakfast replay with Yoka Bianya. Oh my goodness. That's right. Al's got it. So that was with the Mets. Al, which I think you know. Garrett Morris actually played Chico Esqualga for the Mets. Some funny stuff from some Weekend Updates sketches back in the late 70s. Lemon, I told you about already. Defensive replacement, and he hits this one into right center field. Herndon scores. Whitaker scores. Lemon's making his own meringue. It's 8-4 Detroit. 3 runs for the Tigers here in the 8th so far. And this one is not going to be a cardiac game unless the White Sox can bang a gong and let it on, get it on. Cabell is 1 for 3. Enos has an RBI. Run scored, grounded in a double play, a walk and a strikeout. Scaraga's pitch up the middle. Bernazard or Allman to Bernazard to retire the side. So 6-4 on the fielder's choice. We go to the 9. It is after 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 17 gazillion bad puns. It's the Tigers 8, the White Sox 4. I'm paying attention, guys. Here's Allman. So Allman, LaFleur, and Bernazard, and there's no reason not to leave Rosema in. I believe he would get the win. And Hickey's getting lost. So someone else gave Hickey a Hickey, and he got caught. So Allman 1 for 3 with an RBI. That hit was a single. Rosema delivers, and there's a ground ball right back to Dave. That's not going to get anywhere. Bounced off his glove, and Allman leads off with an error. So one of those hot shots that was like a hockey liner, and Rosema is not doing his best impression of Chris Osgood, and it got away from him. So the leadoff runner is on for Ron LaFleur. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Rosema 2 2/3 innings. He has struck out 3. Here's the pitch to LaFleur. Ground ball to Cabell. Long throw to Hebner at first. And they got him. 5-3 on that. 1 out. Allman on second. For Tony Bernazard, who's 1 for 4. Singled, scored a run. After the game, we'll play the rest of Saturday out for you and leave you with some standings. Pitch from Rosema. Ground ball to Whittaker. Dives to his right. Over to Hebner. 2 out. So the White Sox are down to their last shot, and it's Steve Kemp, who was 1 for 4. You'd have to punt if I didn't get your jokes. You know, Allman. Oh, God. So Rosema's ready. 2 out. Runner on third. Kemp 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Up the middle. Whittaker over to Hebner, and the Tigers will win this one 8-4. So Dennis Lamp will take the loss. He goes to 0-3. Only gave up 2 earned runs. Kevin Hickey gets the blown save, and Escarga went the last inning. Dave Rosema gets the second win of the year. 3 2/3 innings. He struck out 3. 12 batters and was just very, very good. So the Tigers go to 20-7. The White Sox fall to 14-11. It did not take 3 hours and 14 minutes to play. And Chet Lemon squarely is your MVP of the game. All right, let's play the rest of the day in baseball. And then we'll leave you be. Giants beat the Mets 10-4. Dodgers down Montreal 6-1. Steve Garvey with his 4th of the year. Kansas City beats Toronto 6-1. Willie Mays Aikens with his 2nd. Milwaukee loses to Minnesota 7-5. Darryl Ward 3 for 5 with his 5th. Joe Niekro goes the distance as the Astros shut out the Cubs 3-0. Oakland beats Cleveland 6-5. Toby Harrah 2 for 4 with his 4th of the year. Philadelphia down to San Diego 6-2. Dick Ruthven goes to 4-1. Bruce Peretti gets the win as Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh 6-1. Boston over Texas, yay, 4-2. Alan Rainey gets the win. Tony Perez 2 RBI and 2 double. Cardinals beat the Braves 7-5. Doug Bear goes to 4-0. Chris Chambliss with his 4th of the year. Yankees beat the Mariners 8-3. Ron Guidry 2-3. Oscar Gamble with a home run. And California beat Baltimore 9-5. Andy Hassler gets his first win. Don Baylor now has 9 RBI. And so I can tell you that there will be no Wednesday proper game. This isn't a very good matchups. And so it'll be what you're seeing on May 14th will be the Tuesday afternoon game. It'll be the Cardinals and the Braves. And then the Wednesday primetime game will be Boston and Kansas City. And that's what you got to look forward to next week as you go out. A reminder again, bumping up the lights tomorrow night at 7. Get your questions in. I'm Ron Juckett for Retro Sports Network. Thank you so much for all that you guys are doing. Oh, I can now thank everybody. Todd and Robbie and Bobby and Kirk and Age of Crackadilla and Baseball Demos and Tribes and Dave Gardner and Stratomatic Chris and Andrew McDonald and Clinton Parks who can't hear me. All right. Talk to you tomorrow night. Till then, I'm Ron Juckett for Retro Sports Network. We'll talk to you the next time.